Morning, guys. Welcome to Coffee Chat. Wow, that tasted amazing. Do you see the steam coming off my cup there? Woo-wee. It is crisp out here. Wow, very nice though. Just, you come out, you get a nice breeze of that cold, crisp air, and it just feels like the world is new all over again. I don't know. That's how I feel when I come out, and it smells just amazing. So it's great. And I love coming out here sharing this with you. Just take a look at the trees back in here, and I got some brown ones in there. They're certainly thinning out back in there. And you got this blue sky, just amazing just behind us here. So really a beautiful day, that's for sure. Anyhow, I had an amazing time with everybody on our live stream, and I just want to say thank you for showing up and celebrating it with me together. It was truly just a wonderful experience. I genuinely enjoyed it. Now, we don't do a whole lot of live streams on this channel, and for the very purpose that, hey, I want to keep them special for us, for you, for me, and so it's great. When we hit those milestones, that's when I love to come out and do a live stream, and we all can share that celebration together. So look, the next live stream that we're going to do, let's shoot for that 20,000 mark on our sub count and build this community, because hey, this is a community deal. This is a you, me, and it's a we is what it is. And I just love it. So thank you so much. That was just really amazing. Well, we are seeing some crazy stuff going on out there right now. So apparently, there's a couple articles that I was reading, and on FTX, first one anyway, on this whole FTX deal. So apparently, I guess there's $3.1 billion in the top 50 creditors that FTX owes. They owe $3.1 billion. And then the article's going on to talk about how SBF and Gary Wang were pressured by the Bahamian government to utilize a backdoor facility to go in there and snag assets post the filing of their bankruptcy or insolvency claim. And those assets are now being apparently held by the Bahamian government. And I mean, the level of just corruption does not cease in this situation. It's like, you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of one of those Mutual Omaha Wild Kingdom shows where, you got this downed animal and you got 50 hyenas out there trying to get their little pound of flesh off of it. Everybody's coming in there to kind of get their little take on the whole, FTX deal. And it is just pathetic to watch. And it looks like a bunch of scavenging vultures. And truly, it is amazing when the real people that genuinely got hurt, the true victims of all this, are the retail investors that would have had no clue whatsoever about what was going on. And I'll tell you, I really believe that the SEC has some real culpability in all this, and I'll tell you why. The SEC has entire divisions of people that are out there to gather intelligence about various things that could affect the U.S. economy and hurt the actual, the average investor. And they're supposed to be ahead of the game when it comes to these things and to, make sure that it doesn't happen. Well, you're seeing Gary Gensler sitting down there with Sam Bankman-Fried, literally maybe even just a few days, if not a week before this whole thing this house of cards started to fall down. And I do not believe that he did not have the intelligence reports on his desk to let him know, hey, look, things aren't looking so good. Because before you go bankrupt, guys, in almost every single solitary case, hey, listen to this. You don't see folks go from absolute solvency, rock solid standing to immediately bankrupt. No, there is a lot of liquidity issues, and you normally see, that insolvency going all the way through before the actual bankruptcy event. Because insolvency, by the way, just means the inability to pay your debts when they become due. And so what you had with FTX, you had this big shell game going on, right? Borrowing from Peter to pay Paul and on and on and on. And if you look at the corporate structure of FTX, that is absolutely unfathomable. And what you've got there is you've got the corporate veil going on. And that means basically they just layers and layers and layers of LLCs, INCs, limited entities and all this kind of stuff layered on top of layer on top of layer, just so you've got this big, heavy, thick corporate veil, and no one knows what anything is going on. And it would take a team of investigators months and months and months to unravel it all. And usually that is a way of sheltering behavior and assets, and that's what I see going on there. So I genuinely believe the SEC truly knew a lot more than what they're letting on they knew. They're like, oh, we're big. No, baloney, you weren't big surprised. You knew what was coming down the pike and you let it happen. That's what I think. Now, I know almost a stretch. Now, I don't have anything I don't know this for a fact, but sometimes it makes you want to think, well, did they not just know it was going to happen and let it happen, or were they involved in making it happen? That's another issue altogether, but hey, who knows? Now, the other articles that I've been reading coming out of Europe is this. You got both France and Germany declaring there is going to be a major power crunch in January and February, and you literally have the emergency disaster, the head of the disaster branch in the German government telling folks, stock up water and stock up food because it is going to be that bad. I mean, when you're telling average folks, look, to stock up your food and stock up your water just because your power is going to be out for maybe a day or two, I'm telling you guys, that seems a lot more serious than just a day or two of power outages, because look, you can just go to the grocery stores. What, are the grocery stores not going to have the food? There's not going to be water pumping into your house. I mean, these are big, big deals, and it is unconscionable that the government would just blasé be out there saying, oh, well, unfortunately for us, our nuclear production in France is not, it's reduced by 50% to da-da-da-da-da-da-da, and, you just better prepare for, big power crunch and da-da-da, and then, extra blankets, extra sweaters, da-da-da-da-da, and all this kind of stuff. When in fact, right now, look at what happened. Look at what happened in Y2K. If those of us that live long enough to remember that, were around for that. Boy, I'm telling you what, these governments were scrambling like crazy to make sure that those computers, when they clicked over, right, to the year 2000, weren't going to go all cattywampus and everything was going to go dark. So tell me, what's the difference between now and then, other than we have way more technology and sophistication? Why aren't we out there taking care of those issues right now, ahead of time, so that when January and February comes, being that it's November, we're not going to be faced with this kind of crisis? It's almost like they're just going to sit back and let it come as if it's some kind of tropical storm. This is not a tropical storm. This is something that can be prevented, and intervention can happen to avoid this kind of cataclysmic result for the general population. And rather than go out there and scare the dickens out of people with these articles and frighten them with the possibility of not being able to get their food preserves or not being able to have water in the house or heat in the house and all this kind of stuff, why don't you go out there and fix the problem right now with all of the billions of dollars that you guys have collected in taxes? And on top of that your central banks seem to print at will when they need a liquidity injection. Why don't you go out there and take care of this issue? Now, that would be my suggestion, and do the job that you were elected to do, and that is take care of the people, take care of the country, and make sure the country operates and runs. How about that as a novel idea, rather than just scratching your own egos and patting your own pockets? That might be a big switch. Don't get me started. I sometimes I can get just wound up, but you know how it is, guys. It just seems like there's an excuse for everything, no accountability for anything, and no one is out there saying, hey, look, we need to take responsibility here. Boom, do this. We need a few Churchills, if you will. We need a few people with some backbone, But it just seems like, we got jellyfish around the world right now for politicians, and it's almost as if they're throwing up their hands saying, well, what could we do about it? There's lots, guys, they could do. Lots and lots they could do. It's what they will do. It's not a matter of can they do it. It's a matter of will they do it. That's at least how I feel about that. Well, listen, guys, it is Monday, and what a great Monday it is. A brand new start of a brand new week, and I hope you guys are just looking forward to, your Monday and this week as much as I am. Look, I love Mondays. Mondays we all get a brand new reset, and sure, it's sometimes tough to get up and going and stuff like that, but the reality is if you didn't wake up, then you'd have something to worry about, right? So that's kind of how I look at it. So any case, I hope you have a fantastic day, and look, we got a great video planned for you later on this afternoon, and until then, guys, enjoy it and take care.